Hey everyone, Nuju Metru here, bringing you BZPower's review of Bionicle Set 71312, Ekimu the Mask Maker. As always, a big thank you to LEGO for sending us at BZPower some products to review, and a reminder that the opinions expressed in this review are not those of the LEGO group. Ekimu here is the first version of the character we're seeing released in a solo set. Of course, we saw Mask Maker versus Skull Grinder, which had a much smaller version of Ekimu in it. This is a larger, more complicated version of the character, and also the only good guy character released in the Bionicle Summer 2016 wave. Watch on to see my thoughts on the set, a closer look at its new and interesting pieces, play features, and more. 71312 doesn't come with much in the way of new parts. There's a lot of trans blue and gold elements that we've seen before, but only a few new or recolored elements, and this torso piece is one of them. This is the second wave Toa chest armor in trans blue, which has some lovely gold printing. You can see there's the symbols up top there, some gold abdominal detailing on these printed surfaces, straps or bandoliers or something along the shoulder there. Another new part for this wave is the so-called molar, or I'm calling it a molar, I guess, armor piece, which is seen more frequently on the beasts. I understand that in this set, this becomes the head of Ekimu's hammer. It's got a ball joint connector in back here. It's a pretty cool asymmetrical looking element, even though it's got some radial symmetry actually, or diagonal symmetry. The other two interesting parts of the set, of course, are these two masks. We'll take a look first at this trans orange and gunmetal molded version of Umarek's face from the winter wave of this Bionicle year. The colors look good together. It's a cool combo, very applicable to the color schemes of, say, the Skull Grinder, Skull Warrior clan from earlier on. So not much to say here. Then, of course, we get, this is beautiful. This is the legendary mask of creation in trans blue, which is just a stunning element. I mean, the way you might be able to tell the way that the light can shine through and catch the runes, it's just spectacular. I think it's a really beautiful element. So I mean, it looks very crystalline and elegant, and I'm a huge fan of this part. And here's the completed model. Ekimu is looking pretty good. We're gonna take a slow spin here. You can see there's a lot of gold and trans blue dominant colors, and take a peek there. If you can see two turning functions, one gets the waist, one gets the arm, with the hammer and shield and the transparent mask of creation. Ekimu is a pretty imposing model. I like that back plate, fills out the color scheme and the armoring there a little bit. Some details of the finished Ekimu I'm really fond of include this mask, of course, which I love how the green eyepiece shines through not just the eye sockets but also the top of the mask. Love the Chima shoulder armor usage here. These are posable, separate from the shoulders. I noticed how the upper arms, if you'll take a look, are different parts. One is this transparent blue and the other is a gray element, which over on the hammer arm provides with more, I guess, less flexibility for more stability, I guess is the intention. Speaking of the hammer, here it is. That molar piece is really being used to good effect as a brute sort of tool. You know, it looks neat, and the use of the old Hero Factory armor up top gives the hammer a unified look in spite of all the Technic knot at the base. I like how Ekimu is holding it a long way up the shaft. It makes the weapon feel more balanced. Torso armor is pretty neat. It's the printing is good, as I said before. I like the use of the Nuva symbols. And just from this shot here, we can see how dominantly transparent blue the upper body is, with just gold accents. The shield itself is nice. It's a variation of the old Ekimu one. doesn't have a spinning function, but the way it's attached to the arm I think is rather clever. You can see it's got the double clips, which makes this whole assemblage easy to remove by itself, like so. The one part of Ekimu I'm not terribly crazy about are the legs. There's nothing particularly wrong with them. I mean, the thighs are a little under-armored, but the proportions aren't quite good. First off, the thighs are much longer than the calves, and compared to the rest of Ekimu's body, the legs are rather short. Also, as you can see, this armor here really limits ankle flexibility. This is about as far forward as Ekimu's ankles can go, which is unfortunate and does remove the possibility of some poses. Ekimu's got two main play features. First off, there's a arm swinging motion here, which is a gear function, which you turn here, and it's a very friction-full joint based on this ball joint here, which is recalls the first model of Anua in Generation 2. Only moves this arm. The shield arm is stabilized by this part here. But there's also the new sort of torso pivot gear down here. So Ekimu's got a full battle attack arsenal of functions. Ekimu's other functions should come as no surprise to any Generation 2 Bionicle fan. Of course, you have the eye stalk press to snap mask off, and since Ekimu comes with another mask, this recolored Umaric one that can be snapped on and also popped off at leisure. Overall, I find this model of Ekimu to be really pretty nifty. It looks gorgeous. I mean, those colors, it's more trans elements, or at least a greater trans distribution than I've seen on any set in my memory. The amount of crystalline blue the model makes use of is just staggering, and the gold, of course, accents this very well, giving Ekimu a really nice color scheme, which I also think is well balanced through the rest of the model. Touches of gunmetal gray at the waist and the hammer feel unified as well. Color-wise, beautiful model. I think the functions are great. You know, the use of double gear functions is a welcome addition. Feels a little, you know, superfluous, but not in a bad way. My major qualm is with the legs, which again feel too short for this this long torso that Ekimu's got. I mean, it's really too bad that they're so short compared to the rest of him. Feel like a different set of legs could, you know, do the character a little bit more stature, but of course this was at one point a protector character, and I guess maybe we're harkening back to that. I think of the sets in the new wave, based on what I've seen, Ekimu has more visual unity and I think more of a Bionicle vibe to him than some of the creatures and the sort of things that we're seeing these days. Well, thanks for watching. If you're interested in seeing more or reading my opinions about Ekimu, you can visit my review in text and image format on BZPower.com. You can also find reviews of the other Summer Bionicle 2016 sets there, as well as news, discussion, games, and more about Bionicle, Lego, and everything you'd like. Alright, thanks again for watching.